Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to the Confident Speaking Podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, I am absolutely thrilled you've decided to join us. This is the podcast where, step by step, we guide you toward making your English sound natural, confident, and truly fluent. Before we dive in, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the Confident Speaking Podcast. I also encourage you to share your thoughts or answers in the comment section below. I make it a point to read all your comments, and remember, your contributions are a valuable resource for other learners on this same journey. All right, let's begin today's masterclass. From B1 to C2 English Fluency, Daily Listening and Speaking Masterclass. Let me start by asking you a question. Have you ever had the feeling that your English is almost good, but it just isn't fluent yet? Perhaps you can understand the majority of words, but the moment you try to speak, your mind goes completely blank. I want you to know that you are not alone in this experience. Countless learners reach a stage, perhaps a B1 or B2 level, where their comprehension of English is strong, but they struggle to break through to that confident, fluent C1 or C2 level. So today my goal is to help you tear down that wall. In this masterclass, you are going to learn the techniques for thinking in English, speaking with a smooth and natural flow, and training your listening skills every single day, just as native speakers do. And please don't worry, everything I share will be delivered in simple, clear English. I invite you to shadow my voice, repeat my words, and learn with me, one step at a time. Let's officially begin your journey from B1 to C2. Section 1. What real fluency means. First things first, let's clarify what fluency genuinely means. Fluency is not about how fast you can speak. It is about the ability to speak naturally with a sense of rhythm, deep confidence, and true understanding. When you achieve fluency, your thoughts flow effortlessly. You no longer need to translate from your native language. Instead, you think directly in English. Picture this scenario. You're having a conversation with a friend in English. The words simply come to you without struggle. You aren't feeling nervous. You sound calm, clear, and self-assured. That is the goal we are working toward. Real fluency. But how exactly do we arrive at that destination? The secret lies in consistent, daily listening and speaking practice. Every single day, you must engage in active listening and active speaking, not just passively studying grammar rules or vocabulary lists from a book. And that is precisely what this masterclass is designed to help you do. Section 2, the power of shadowing. Let's begin with one of the most effective tools for achieving fluency, shadowing. Shadowing is a technique where you listen to a speaker and repeat what they say at the same time. You echo what you hear, word for word, matching the same rhythm and tone. You can think of it as singing along to a song, but for English conversation. This method trains your mouth, your ears, and your brain to work in perfect harmony. It helps you internalize the music of English, its natural stress patterns, sounds, and emotional nuances. Let's attempt a brief shadowing exercise together. First, just listen. I used to feel nervous every time I spoke English, but then I started shadowing native speakers every day. After 1 month, I could hear the rhythm. After 2 months, I could feel the words. After 3 months, I started to sound more natural. Now it's your turn to repeat after me, slowly. Ready? I used to feel nervous every time I spoke English. But then I started shadowing native speakers every day. After 1 month, I could hear the rhythm. After 2 months, I could feel the words. After 3 months, I started to sound more natural. Well done. When you practice shadowing on a daily basis, your pronunciation will improve almost effortlessly. You will find yourself beginning to speak automatically. Section 3, the listening habit. The next critical step is establishing a daily listening habit. For a language learner, listening is as essential as breathing. It's impossible to become fluent if you limit yourself to only reading and writing. You absolutely must hear the language every single day. But this isn't about just any kind of listening. What you need is active listening. Active listening requires you to focus intently on the meaning, rhythm, and emotion behind the words, rather than just passively hearing them. Here is a simple method you can follow. First, choose content that you find enjoyable, like a story, a podcast, or a YouTube video. Listen to it once just to grasp the general understanding. Then, listen to it a second time and shadow the speaker. Finally, pause and repeat any difficult sentences until you can articulate them clearly. It's a straightforward process, but its effectiveness is undeniable. And if you commit to this every day, even for as little as 10 minutes, your listening and speaking abilities will advance more rapidly than you can imagine. Section 4, a small story. The student who changed. Allow me to share a quick story with you. Last year, a student of mine named Lynn approached me with a dream. She explained, "Teacher, I can read and write English well, but I can't speak it. My pronunciation isn't good, and I just freeze up whenever people talk to me quickly." We began with small, manageable steps. Every day, Lynn shadowed one short English story, dedicating just 5 minutes a day to the practice. She listened with intense focus and repeated with genuine emotion. After just 3 weeks, her voice already sounded clearer. After 6 weeks, her confidence had noticeably grown. And after 3 months, she was able to hold full, engaging conversations with native speakers. There was no more fear, no more freezing. How did this transformation happen? It was because she trained her ears and her mouth simultaneously, not just her mind. This is something that you can achieve as well. So if you ever find yourself thinking, "I can't speak like a native speaker," I want you to remember Lynn. She started from the exact same place you might be right now, at a B1 level, and today she sounds natural, fluent, and completely confident. Section 5, the journey ahead. This masterclass is composed of 11 distinct parts. In each part, you will acquire new vocabulary, learn new expressions, and master powerful listening and speaking techniques. Step by step, we will progress from an intermediate English level to an advanced, fluent level of English, the kind that sounds authentic, confident, and natural. So I encourage you to stay with me until the very end. By the time you complete all 11 parts of this series, your pronunciation, listening comprehension, and overall fluency will all be significantly stronger. Now, before we conclude part 1, let's engage in one final mini practice. Please repeat these short sentences after me. I am ready to learn. I can speak English with confidence. I listen carefully and I speak naturally. Every day, my English becomes better. Perfect. You sound wonderful. Remember, your journey to English fluency doesn't have to be rapid. It simply needs to be consistent. Fluency is the reward for those who commit to practicing every day. In the next part, we will explore the mindset of fluent speakers, how they think differently, and how you can begin to adopt that way of thinking in English, too. So please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the Confident Speaking podcast, and share with me in the comments, what is one challenge you currently face when you speak English?
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Welcome back to the Confident Speaking Podcast. I am so glad you're here for part 2 of our masterclass, From B1 to C2 English Fluency, Daily Listening and Speaking Masterclass. In part 1, we established that fluency isn't about speaking quickly. It's about speaking with a natural flow. We also practiced the techniques of shadowing and active listening, and we discussed the incredible power of daily habits. Now, in this part, we are going to delve deeper into an area of critical importance: your mindset. This is because your journey to fluency begins not in your mouth, nor in your ears, but in your mind. Let's begin. Section 1: How fluent speakers think. Have you ever stopped to wonder what truly makes fluent English speakers sound so confident and natural? It isn't just their grasp of grammar or their extensive vocabulary, it's fundamentally about the way they think. When fluent speakers engage in conversation, they aren't translating word by word in their heads. They think directly in the English language. They prioritize the overall meaning, not the individual words. They give themselves permission to make mistakes. Their focus is on connection with the other person, not on achieving perfection. Here's an illustration. Imagine two different learners. Learner A thinks like this. Okay, I want to say this sentence. How do I construct that in English? Which tense should I use? What is the correct grammar rule? Now, consider learner B, who thinks like this. I just want to express my idea. I'll use the words that I already know. It's perfectly fine if it's not perfect. Which of these two learners do you think speaks faster and with more fluency? Learner B, of course. This is because when you fixate on perfection, your brain tends to freeze. But when you focus on communication, your brain is able to flow. So if your goal is to advance from B1 to C2, you must start thinking like a fluent speaker, free, confident, and centered on conveying meaning. Section 2, Thinking in English Step by Step. Now let's discuss the practical steps for training your brain to think in English. This isn't a skill that develops overnight, but it is something you can practice every day in small, manageable ways. Here's a simple 3-step exercise to get you started. Step 1. Describe your world in English. Take a look around you right at this moment. Say what you see, either out loud or just in your head. For instance, my desk is clean today. There's a cup of coffee next to my laptop. I hear birds outside the window. That's all there is to it. Simple English, spoken naturally. Step 2. Talk to yourself in English. As you go about your daily activities, describe what you're doing. I'm making breakfast. I'm walking to work. I'm checking my phone. This practice builds a direct link between your thoughts and the English language. Step 3. Reflect in English. At the conclusion of your day, take just 1 minute to talk to yourself in English. Recount what happened during your day. What went well? What did you find challenging? For example, today was a busy day. I had a lot of meetings. I was tired, but I learned something new. This daily reflection will help you think more quickly and express your feelings more effectively in English. Practice these 3 steps every day, and your mind will gradually start to live in English. Section 3. How to stop translating. One of the most significant obstacles that learners encounter is translation. You think first in your native language and then attempt to translate that into English. This process inevitably makes your speech slow and unnatural. So, how can you break this habit? The secret is to focus on patterns. Instead of trying to memorize individual words one by one, learn English in patterns. Short, complete chunks of language that you can use instantly. For example, Rather than just learning the word because, learn the entire phrase, I did it because I wanted to. Instead of just learning I think, learn the pattern. I think it's a good idea. I think it's too late. I think I understand. When you learn in patterns, your brain stores these as ready-made sentences. You no longer have to construct every single sentence from scratch. Let's practice this together. Please repeat after me. I think it's a good idea. I guess you're right. I'm not sure about that. I feel like going for a walk. It looks like it's going to rain. These are natural patterns that native speakers use in their everyday conversations. If you practice them frequently, you will begin to use them automatically with no translation required. Section 4, the confident switch. Fluent speakers are not fluent because they have memorized every rule and word. They are fluent because they are not afraid to try. You see, confidence is not something you passively wait for. It is something you actively create. When you speak English, try not to think, I might make a mistake. Instead, shift your mindset to, I'm learning, I'm improving. Every mistake you make is a stepping stone on your path to fluency. Allow me to share a short story. When I first relocated to the United States, I became friends with a man from Japan. His English was far from perfect. In fact, he made grammar mistakes constantly. But he always smiled, spoke in a natural manner, and kept the conversation flowing. People genuinely enjoyed talking with him because he was confident and friendly. A few months later, his English had improved more rapidly than anyone else's. Why? It was because he used it every single day, without fear. Fluency grows through use, not through silence. So please, don't wait until you feel completely ready. Start speaking today, even if it's with simple English. Section 5, Shadowing Practice, the Fluency Mindset. Now let's perform a short shadowing exercise specifically designed to practice this fluent mindset. Please listen first. I don't need to be perfect to speak English. I just need to practice every day. I can express my ideas clearly. I speak English to connect, not to impress. Every word I say makes me stronger. Now, repeat after me, sentence by sentence. I don't need to be perfect to speak English. I just need to practice every day. I can express my ideas clearly. I speak English to connect, not to impress. Every word I say makes me stronger. Excellent work. When you repeat positive affirmations like these, you are actively training your brain to adopt the mindset of a fluent speaker. This is a technique known as language confidence training. The more confident your thoughts become, the more natural your English will sound. Section 6, your mini task. Here is your small assignment for today. After you finish this video, I want you to spend 5 minutes just thinking in English. Describe what you see around you, what you are feeling, and what you are doing, all in English. If you would like some extra practice, I invite you to write 3 short sentences about your day in the comments section below. I will be sure to read them, and this will help you practice communicating publicly just like a real speaker. In the upcoming part, we will take this a step further. You will learn how to train your listening skills just like native speakers do so that you can easily understand fast English, movies, and authentic, real-world conversations. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to the Confident Speaking podcast, and tell me in the comments, do you still find yourself translating when you speak English? Or are you able to think directly in English? Now, I'll see you in part 3. And always remember, fluency begins in your mind. You are already on the right path.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Welcome back to the Confident Speaking Podcast. I'm so pleased to see you here for part 3. of our Masterclass, from B1 to C2 English Fluency, Daily Listening and Speaking Masterclass. In Part 2, you learned about the crucial mindset of fluent speakers, how they think directly in English, use patterns to avoid translation, and build their confidence through consistent daily practice. Now it's time to focus on one of the most powerful skills for achieving fluency: listening. If you can understand English clearly, its rhythm, its emotion, and its real speed, your ability to speak will naturally improve as well. However, most learners approach listening in the wrong way. They hear the words, but they aren't actively training their ears. So today, you're going to learn how to train your listening skills just like a native speaker, one step at a time. Section 1: The Secret of Real Listening. Many learners mistakenly believe that listening is a passive activity. They think you just press play and allow your brain to do all the work. But that isn't accurate. Real, effective listening is an active process. It's like a workout for your ears. Native speakers listen in chunks of meaning, not word by word. They hear entire phrases together. For example, when you hear the question, did you eat yet? It often sounds more like "G yet." When you hear "I want to go," which it often becomes "I want to go." And when you hear "let me see," it sounds like "let me see." If you attempt to understand every single word individually, you will quickly get lost. But if you listen for the overall meaning, you'll comprehend the entire sentence with ease. This is the first secret. Don't listen for individual words. Listen for ideas. Section 2: Active listening practice. Now let's practice active listening together. I am going to say a few short sentences. I want you to listen carefully, but don't try to focus on every single word. Simply try to feel the meaning and the emotion behind what I'm saying. Listen. I can't believe it's already Friday. You look tired. Did you sleep well last night? It's such a beautiful day today, isn't it? Now listen again, and this time repeat after me. Try to copy my rhythm and tone precisely. I can't believe it's already Friday. You look tired. Did you sleep well last night? It's such a beautiful day today, isn't it? Did you notice how each of those sentences has its own unique music? That is the rhythm of English, and listening helps you develop a feel for it. Section 3: Shadowing and listening together. Shadowing is not just a speaking exercise. It's also a form of deep listening. Here's how you can effectively combine the two. First, choose a short audio or video clip, perhaps a story, a movie scene, or a podcast segment. Listen to it once without repeating. Your only goal is to focus on understanding the content. Then listen again and shadow the speaker. Speak along with them, copying their speed and intonation as closely as you can. Finally, listen one more time and try to notice the small sounds or nuances you might have missed before. This three-step method will improve both your listening accuracy and your speaking flow. Let's try a short example together. Listen first. When I was a child, I loved listening to the rain. The sound was soft, peaceful, and made me dream. Now let's shadow that together slowly. When I was a child, I loved listening to the rain. The sound was soft, peaceful, and made me dream. Very good. When you shadow, your ears learn the authentic sound of English. You start to notice how words connect, how listening to becomes listening da, and how made me becomes made me. This is how native speakers hear and speak in a natural, fluid way. Section 4: The Listening Pyramid. Let's visualize your listening practice as a pyramid with 3 distinct levels. Level 1: Clear English. This is English that is spoken slowly and clearly. much like what you are hearing right now. Use this level to build your foundational skills. Level 2, Natural English. This is the speed of real conversations, such as what you would hear in TV shows, YouTube videos, or podcasts. You might not understand every single word at this level, and that is perfectly okay. Level 3, Fast, Authentic English. This is how people speak in movies, in songs, and in everyday life, complete with connected speech, reduced sounds, and slang. It's challenging, but it trains your ears to become fast and flexible. To become truly fluent, you must practice listening at all three levels: slow and clear, natural and fast. Start with level 1, then move up to level 2, and consistently challenge yourself with level 3. The more you listen, the easier the sounds of English will become. Section 5, the Shadowing Challenge. Let's engage in a quick listening and shadowing challenge. I will read a short story twice. The first time, I want you to just listen. The second time, I want you to shadow along with me. Ready? First, listen. Yesterday, I went to a small cafe near my house. I ordered a cup of tea and sat by the window. It started raining softly. I watched the people outside running with umbrellas. It was quiet, calm, and beautiful. Now, let's shadow it together slowly. Yesterday, I went to a small cafe near my house. I ordered a cup of tea and sat by the window. It started raining softly. I watched the people outside running with umbrellas. It was quiet, calm, and beautiful. Great job. That is exactly how you combine listening and speaking into one simple daily exercise. Even just 5 minutes of this kind of practice every day can make your listening sharper and your speaking significantly smoother. Section 6, Listening with Emotion. One thing that fluent speakers always do is feel the language. They don't just process sounds, they feel the emotion behind the words. Listen to the difference. If I say, "It's raining again," in a flat tone, I sound a little tired or bored. But if I say, "It's raining again," with energy, I sound excited or happy. The words are the same, but the emotion is completely different. So as you listen, ask yourself, what emotion am I hearing? Is the speaker happy, angry, surprised, or calm? Feeling these emotions helps you understand tone, which is just as important as vocabulary. And when you speak, you will start to use emotion in your own voice, just like a native speaker. Section 7, Your Listening Routine. Here is a simple daily routine that you can follow. Morning, 5 minutes. Listen to slow, clear English. This could be a short podcast or a video like this one. Afternoon, 10 minutes. Shadow a clip of a natural conversation. Evening, 5 minutes. Listen to something fast, like a movie scene or a song, just to challenge your ears. That adds up to only 20 minutes a day. But it will change everything about how you hear and understand the English language. Remember, listening is not just about input, it's about training. Section 8, Quick Review. Let's quickly go over what you've learned today. Don't listen word by word, listen for meaning. Train your ears to hear how words connect in speech. Combine listening with shadowing practice. Feel the emotion, not just the sound. Practice a little bit every day. Even 10 or 20 minutes can make a huge difference. If you do this consistently, your listening will become natural, and your speaking will surely follow. Section 9, Your Mini Task. Your task for today is simple. Find one short English video that you enjoy. Listen to it 3 times. The first time, listen for meaning. The second time, listen while shadowing. And the third time, listen to catch the small details you might have missed. Then write one sentence in the comments below answering this question. What new sound or phrase did you notice today? I'll be sure to read your comments and help you correct or improve your observations if needed. In part 4, we will take another significant step forward. You will learn how to speak English naturally and smoothly, and how to connect your words just like a native speaker. So please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the Confident Speaking podcast, and share your learning experience below. You are doing an amazing job. Keep listening, keep practicing, and I promise you that soon, English will sound clear and easy to you. See you in part 4.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Welcome back to the Confident Speaking Podcast. I am genuinely proud of you for continuing with me through this masterclass. From B1 to C2 English fluency, daily listening and speaking masterclass. In part 3, we explored how to train your listening skills like a native speaker. We learned how to hear the underlying meaning instead of just individual words, how to shadow with emotion, and how to establish a daily listening habit that will truly transform your fluency. Now, in part 4, we will address the next major step: how to speak English smoothly and naturally. This is the part where everything we've learned begins to connect. You'll discover how to make your sentences flow, how to project confidence, and how to utilize the real rhythm of the English language. Are you ready? Let's begin. Section 1. What does natural speaking mean? When we talk about natural English, we are referring to something more than just words. Natural English possesses rhythm, tone, and emotion. It sounds relaxed and smooth, not stiff or robotic. You have probably observed that native speakers don't pronounce every single word separately. Instead of saying, I want to go to the store, they say, I want to go to the store. Instead of, let me help you, they say, let me help you. This isn't incorrect or lazy speech. It's simply natural speech. It's how English genuinely sounds in everyday life. So if your goal is to sound natural, you need to learn how to connect your words and reduce certain sounds, just as native speakers do. Section 2. Linking words, the secret of smooth English. Native speakers link words together so that a sentence flows like a piece of music. This technique is called linking. Let's examine a few examples. Go on is what native speakers say instead of a choppy go on. Turn off the light becomes turn off the light. Talk about it sounds like talk about it. Can you hear that flow? The words are connected with no long pauses in between. Let's try a small practice. Repeat after me, first slowly and then naturally. Slowly, turn off the light. Naturally, turn off the light. Slowly, talk about it. Naturally, talk about it. Slowly, come on in. Naturally, come on in. Excellent. This type of practice helps your mouth move faster and more smoothly. You will begin to sound natural without having to force it. Section 3. Reductions and connected speech. Now, let's take a look at reductions, the way English speakers shorten words when they speak quickly. Here are some of the most common ones. Going to becomes gonna. Want to becomes wanna. Got to becomes gotta. Let me becomes lemme. Give me becomes gimme. Let's practice a few of these. Please repeat after me. I'm gonna call you later. I want to go home now. I gotta study tonight. Let me check my phone. Give me a second. Very good. You don't have to use these reductions all the time, but understanding them is crucial for both sounding and understanding natural English. This is a part of how people truly speak in their daily lives. It's not textbook English. It's real, living English. Section 4, the music of English. stress, and rhythm. Every language has its own unique music. In English, we stress certain words in a sentence more strongly than others. For example, listen to this sentence: I didn't say she stole the money. If I place the stress on different words, the meaning of the sentence changes entirely. I didn't say she stole the money. Maybe I wrote it. I didn't say she stole the money. Maybe someone else said it. I didn't say she stole the money. Maybe she just borrowed it. Do you see how the stress completely alters the meaning? To sound natural, you must be able to feel this rhythm, the interplay of strong words and soft words working together. Let's practice. Repeat after me, focusing on stress and emotion. I really love English. This movie is so funny. You did an amazing job today. Good job. When you use stress naturally, your English becomes alive, filled with energy and feeling. Section 5. Shadowing for smoothness. Now, let's combine everything you've learned so far with a short shadowing exercise. Please listen first. When I speak English now, I don't worry about being perfect. I focus on being clear and natural. I connect my words and let my ideas flow. Now, repeat after me slowly. When I speak English now, I don't worry about being perfect. I focus on being clear and natural. I connect my words and let my ideas flow. Now let's try it a little faster. Ready? When I speak English now, I don't worry about being perfect. I focus on being clear and natural. I connect my words and let my ideas flow. Beautiful. That is how you train your voice to flow naturally. Not in short, broken words, but in smooth, connected sounds. Section 6. Speaking with emotion and tone. Another crucial component of natural speech is emotion. English is a language that is rich in tone. We change the pitch of our voice to show how we feel. If you say the word really in a flat voice, it sounds bored. If you say really with energy, it sounds excited or surprised. Try this with me now. Flat, really, excited. Really, surprised, really, doubtful, really. It's the same word, but your tone conveys the true meaning. So when you speak, don't be afraid to use your voice. English listeners understand your emotion through your tone, not just through your words. Section 7. How to sound natural in conversations. When you're talking with someone, sounding natural in English isn't just about using correct grammar, it's about flow and connection. Here's a simple conversation tip. When you answer questions, avoid giving only short one-word answers. Add a small detail. For example, A, how was your weekend? B, too short. Good. B, better. Good. I visited my cousin and we watched a movie. A, do you like coffee? B, too short. Yes. B, better. Yes, I love coffee. I drink 2 cups every morning. Adding these small details makes you sound friendly, confident, and natural, just like a native speaker. Let's practice a few quick responses. Question: how are you today? You: I'm great, thanks. I just finished my work. Question: what do you usually do on weekends? You: I usually relax and watch a good movie. Question: do you like studying English? You: yes, it makes me happy when I can speak better each day. Excellent. Section 8, your speaking routine. Here's a simple routine you can follow to make your speaking smoother every day. Shadow for 5 minutes. Choose a short clip and copy the speaker's voice, rhythm, and emotion. Record yourself for 2 minutes. Talk about your day or answer a question. Don't worry about making mistakes. Listen and notice. Compare your recording to a clip of a native speaker. What sounds different? Repeat and improve. Do it again the next day. You will notice improvement very quickly. Remember, the goal is not to sound perfect. The goal is to sound natural. Section 9, Review and Motivation. Let's quickly review what you learned today. Natural English is connected, not spoken word by word. Linking and reductions make your speech flow smoothly. Stress and tone create rhythm and emotion. Short answers can sound robotic. Add details to sound more natural. Practice shadowing daily to improve your rhythm and sound. You are already making progress just by being here and practicing with me. Fluency doesn't happen overnight. It grows from daily practice and the courage to speak. Section 10, Your mini task. Here's your task for today. Choose one simple English sentence like, I want to learn English, and work on making it sound natural. Practice saying it in different ways. I want to learn English. I really want to learn English. I'm going to keep learning English every day. Then record your version and listen to how it sounds. I invite you to share your best sentence in the comments. I would love to see your progress. In part 5, we will discuss something that every fluent speaker does, using advanced vocabulary in a natural way. You will learn how to choose the right words to sound confident and intelligent, not complicated, but clear and expressive. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Confident Speaking Podcast, and tell me in the comments, what English phrase do you want to be able to say more naturally? You are doing so well. Keep going. Your English is already becoming smoother, stronger, and more confident with each passing day. See you in part 5.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Welcome back to the Confident Speaking Podcast. I'm delighted you're still with me in this Masterclass. From B1 to C2 English Fluency, our daily listening and speaking masterclass. You've already accomplished amazing work. In part 4, we learned the techniques for speaking English smoothly and naturally, including how to link words, use rhythm, and sound confident whenever you speak. Now, in part 5, we're going to venture even deeper. Today's topic is how to use advanced vocabulary in a natural way, so you can sound intelligent, expressive, and fluent, just like a C2 level speaker. And please don't worry, you don't need to learn big, fancy words to sound advanced. You simply need the right words used in the right way. Let's get started. Section 1. Why vocabulary isn't just about hard words. Many learners operate under the assumption that if they use complicated words, they will sound more fluent. But in reality, fluency isn't about complexity. It's about clarity. Native speakers often use simple words, but they use them with precision and in a natural manner. For example, they wouldn't typically say, I experienced an abundance of fatigue. Instead, they would say, I was really tired. It's clear, it's natural, and it's powerful. So, rather than memorizing long lists of difficult words, your focus should be on understanding how to use words in real-life situations. That's precisely what we'll be doing today. Section 2, upgrade your vocabulary step by step. Let's begin by upgrading some common words to more advanced, yet still natural alternatives. I will provide you with examples that real native speakers use in their everyday conversations. 1. Very words. Instead of constantly saying very, try using stronger, more descriptive words. Instead of very big, say huge, enormous. Instead of very small, say tiny. Instead of very good, say excellent, fantastic, amazing. Instead of very bad, say terrible, awful. Instead of very tired, say exhausted. Instead of very happy, say thrilled, delighted. Let's practice. Sentence 1. The movie was very good. Better, the movie was fantastic. Sentence 2. I'm very tired today. Better, I'm exhausted today. Sentence 3, it's very cold outside. Better, it's freezing outside. Can you hear the difference? You sound more fluent, more expressive, and still completely natural. 2, real life upgrades. Let's upgrade some common phrases that can sound a bit too basic. Instead of I think, try, I believe, I guess, I suppose, in my opinion. Instead of I don't know, try, I'm not sure, I have no idea. Instead of I like it, try, I really enjoy it, I'm into it. Instead of I'm busy, try, I've got a lot on my plate. Instead of I'm not interested, try it's not really my thing. Instead of let's start, try let's get started, let's dive in. Let's practice them in context. Basic, I think English is important. Better, I believe English is really important. Basic, I like music. Better, I'm really into music. Basic, I'm not interested in sports. Better, sports aren't really my thing. See? You no longer sound like a student. You sound like a real communicator. Section 3. How to remember advanced words. Now you might be thinking, but teacher, how am I supposed to remember all of these new words? Here is the secret. You don't effectively remember words by memorizing lists. You remember them by actively using them in your daily life. For example, speak them aloud. Use them in sentences that describe your day. Instead of just saying, I'm tired, make a point to say, I'm exhausted. Write short stories or journal entries. If you write, today was great. I was thrilled to see my friends. Your brain will remember the emotion and the word together. And of course, shadow real English. When you watch movies or listen to podcasts, copy how native speakers use these words naturally. Let's try this together now. Shadow this short paragraph. Today was amazing. I was exhausted after work, but when I saw my best friend, I felt thrilled. We had an incredible dinner, and the food was fantastic. Now, you try repeating that slowly, clearly, and naturally, see? You have already used 4 advanced words without sounding unnatural at all. Section 4. Avoid overusing fancy words. Here is a common mistake that many advanced learners make. They try too hard to sound smart. For instance, someone might say, I would like to express my profound gratitude for your assistance. While that is polite, it's far too formal for everyday conversation. You can simply say, thanks so much for your help. Fluency is not about sounding like a walking dictionary. It's about sounding human. Even native speakers use simple, direct English most of the time. The secret isn't to use difficult words, it's to use natural ones with confidence. Section 5. Think in phrases, not in words. When you speak English, try to avoid thinking word by word. Instead, think in chunks, short, natural phrases that native speakers use automatically. Here are some examples. At the end of the day, meaning finally in the end, it depends on, used when something is not certain. I mean, used to clarify your idea. You know what I mean? Used to check for understanding. Kind of, sort of. Used to soften your opinion. Let's put them into real sentences. At the end of the day, it's your choice. It depends on the weather. I mean, I really wanted to go, but I was too tired. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain. If you learn and use phrases like these, your speaking will sound much more natural and less like it came from a textbook. Section 6. Vocabulary through emotion. Here is a powerful concept. You remember words much faster when you have an emotional connection to them. If you link words with an emotion, a story, or an experience, they will stay in your memory for much longer. For example, imagine this story. I was exhausted after running 5 kilometers. But when I reached the finish line, I was thrilled. My friends were cheering, and I felt so proud. Now, those two words, exhausted and thrilled, are no longer just vocabulary items. They are part of an emotional memory. This is how real fluency is built, with feelings, not just with flashcards. Section 7, practice speaking with upgraded vocabulary. Let's do a quick practice session. I will say a basic sentence, and I want you to repeat it using a better, more advanced phrase. I say, I'm very hungry. You say, I'm starving. I say, that's very funny. You say, that's hilarious. I say, I'm very sad. You say, I'm heartbroken. I say, it's very easy. You say, it's simple, or it's effortless. I say, I'm very scared. You say, I'm terrified. Now, shadow these sentences after me naturally. I'm starving. That's hilarious. I'm heartbroken. It's effortless. I'm terrified. Perfect. You are already sounding more natural and expressive. Section 8, review and motivation. Let's summarize what you've learned today. Don't focus on difficult words, focus on natural, expressive words. Upgrade basic words like very good to fantastic and very tired to exhausted. Learn and use phrases, not just single words. Speak, write, and shadow to help you remember new vocabulary. Connect emotion to your learning. Feel the words that you use. You are not just learning vocabulary, you are learning how to think in English. That is the true key to moving from B1 to C2. Section 9, your task for today. Here is your practice for today. I want you to write 3 sentences using upgraded vocabulary. For example, I'm exhausted but happy today. The view from the mountain was breathtaking. At the end of the day, I feel proud of my progress. Please post your sentences in the comments below. I will read all of them and respond to some of you personally. In part 6, we will delve further into the concept of thinking in English, how to stop translating from your native language and start forming your ideas directly in English, just like a fluent speaker. If you are enjoying this masterclass, please like this video, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what is your favorite advanced English word or phrase? Keep practicing. Your progress is real, and every small step you take brings you closer to fluency. I am proud of you, and I will see you in part 6. Welcome back to the Confident Speaking Podcast. This is part 6 of our series, From B1 to C2 English Fluency, Daily Listening and Speaking Masterclass. In the last part, we learned how to use advanced vocabulary in a natural way, focusing on how to sound fluent and expressive without seeming overly formal or complicated. Now, in this part, we are going to explore a concept that is even more powerful, something that truly separates fluent speakers from learners. We are going to discuss how to think in English naturally. If you can master the ability to think in English, you will speak faster, understand more quickly, and feel more confident every single time you open your mouth. Let's begin. Section 1. Why translating slows you down. Let's start with a question for you. Do you still find yourself translating in your head before you speak English? Many learners do. You formulate a thought in your native language first, and then you try to find the English words to match it. But here is the problem. That process takes up valuable time. You start thinking, okay, what's the word for this? What's the correct grammar? Wait, is that right? And while you are having this internal debate, your mouth stops moving. Your fluency vanishes. Fluent speakers do not translate. They connect their ideas directly to English words. So when they see a picture of the sun, they don't think of the word for sun. in their native language first, they just think sun. This is exactly how children learn their first language, and it is how you can train your brain to think in English too. Section 2. The 4 stages of thinking in English. Thinking in English is not like a switch that you can turn on instantly. It is a skill that you build progressively, step by step. Let's break it down into 4 distinct stages. Stage 1. Word level. You begin by naming the things you see around you in English. For example, table, chair, dog, sky, coffee. This practice trains your brain to connect English words directly to physical objects. Stage 2, phrase level. Now, instead of using single words, you start using short phrases. For example, a hot cup of coffee, a beautiful sky, a fast car. This helps you to think in chunks of language rather than through translations. Stage 3, sentence level. Next, you begin to describe your actions or your feelings in complete English sentences. For example, I'm drinking coffee, I'm watching TV, I feel tired today. Stage 4, thought level. Finally, you reach the point where you can express your full ideas, opinions, or memories directly in English. For example, I think learning English is like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. When you reach this stage, you no longer need to translate. You just speak. Section 3, how to train your mind daily. Now let's work on training your brain to think in English with some practical daily habits. I call this method the 5-minute English thinking routine. You could do it anywhere, on the bus, while you're cooking, or just before you go to sleep. Here's how it works. Minute 1, observe. Look around you and name what you see. There's a chair, the window is open, my phone is on the table. Minute 2, describe. Add more details. The chair looks comfortable. The sky is clear. My phone battery is low. Minute 3, express. Talk about your feelings. I feel relaxed. I'm happy the weather is nice. Minute 4, imagine. Create a short, imaginary situation in English. What if it starts raining? I would go outside and dance in the rain. Minute 5, reflect. Think about your day. Today was good. I finished my work and learned some new words. If you do this every single day, your brain will slowly become less dependent on your native language, and English will become your second internal voice. Section 4, how to replace native words with English words. Let's practice this right now. Imagine you see a red apple. In your mind, do you first say the word for it in your native language, or do you say apple? If your brain says apple first, then congratulations. You are already well on your way to training your English brain. If not, don't worry. You can fix it. Here's how. Whenever you see something, say its English name out loud. When you use your phone, think phone. When you eat rice, think rice. When you see a car, think car. Say the word aloud or just whisper it to yourself. This simple practice builds direct neural connections between the object and the English word. After some time, your brain will automatically choose the English word first. Section 5, shadowing practice. Thinking in English. Let's do a short shadowing exercise. Listen and then repeat after me, like an echo. I think in English every day. I describe my world in English. I can speak English without translating. My mind is getting faster. I'm building my English brain. Now, repeat that one more time, but this time, say it with genuine confidence. I think in English every day. I describe my world in English. I can speak English without translating. My mind is getting faster. I'm building my English brain. Excellent. That is not just a shadowing exercise. It's mindset training. Every time you speak words like these, your brain believes them more deeply. Section 6, Thinking in English while listening. Thinking in English is not just for speaking, it is also crucial for listening. When you are listening to someone speak English, resist the urge to translate everything they say into your native language. Instead, focus on understanding the core idea. For example, when someone says, I had a rough day, don't get stuck trying to translate each word. Just understand the feeling. They had a difficult day. You don't need to understand every single word to comprehend the meaning. This is how native speakers listen as well. So when you watch movies, podcasts, or videos, try to think in pictures and concepts, not in translations. Let your brain connect English directly to meaning. Section 7. Stop judging yourself. Many learners feel frustrated when they can't think quickly enough in English. But please remember, this is a process, not a magic trick. It takes time for your brain to build new neural pathways, so be patient with yourself. When you catch yourself translating, don't react by thinking, oh no, I've failed. Instead, say to yourself, okay, I noticed that. Next time, I'll try to think in English faster. Every time you notice it, you are improving your awareness. And awareness is the first step toward fluency. Section 8, real life example. Let me share a quick story. One of my students, Hannah, was an intermediate learner at around the B1 level. She always translated from Vietnamese before she spoke, and this made her speech very slow. So we started with something small. Each day I asked her to describe one simple thing in English for just 1 minute. After 3 weeks, she told me something incredible. She said, Teacher, when I look at things now, the English words come to me automatically. I don't need to think in Vietnamese anymore. That's when I knew she had started to truly think in English. And very soon after that, her speaking became much faster. Not because she learned new grammar, but because her brain had changed the way it processed thought. That is what will happen to you too if you keep practicing. Section 9, your practice for today. Now, it is your turn. Here is your task. For the next 24 hours, I want you to try to think in English as much as you possibly can. When you wake up, say to yourself, I'm getting up now. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making breakfast. When you walk outside, think, the weather's hot, the sky is blue. There's a man walking his dog. At night, before you go to sleep, say, today was a good day. I learned something new. This exercise might feel a little strange at first, but soon it will become natural, and that is when your fluency will begin to grow rapidly. If you would like some extra motivation, please write 3 English sentences about your day in the comments below. I'll read them and reply to as many as I can. Section 10, preview of the next lesson. In part 7, we will move on to something exciting. You will learn how to sound natural and confident in real conversations by using intonation, tone, and body language. We will practice how native speakers make their speech sound alive, not robotic, and how you can do the exact same thing. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to the Confident Speaking Podcast, and tell me in the comments, do you still translate when you speak English? Or are you starting to think in English now? You are doing an amazing job. Keep going, and remember, every word you think in English brings you one step closer to fluency. I'll see you in part 7.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Welcome back, my friend. You are doing so well. If you have stayed with me all the way to part 7, I know something very important about you. You are serious about your English. You don't just want to study English, you want to live it, you want to feel it. And that is precisely what today's part is all about, thinking in English. You might have heard this advice many times before. Think in English. But what does that truly mean? And more importantly, how do you actually do it? Let's explore that right now. When you first begin learning a new language, that everything is processed through translation. For example, you see an apple, and in your head, you first think of the word for it in your native language. Then you translate that into English. Apple. This is a normal and necessary stage. It's how your brain starts to connect the new language to the old one. However, translation is slow. It creates a delay, a small but significant wall between you and true fluency. If you want to progress from B1 to C2, from intermediate to fluent, you have to break down that wall. You must train your brain to think directly in English. Let's begin with something simple. Level 1, single words. As you are walking around your home, start naming the things you see in English. Say the words out loud if you can. This is a chair. That's a window. I see my phone. Even better, drop the this is and just say the words themselves. Chair, window, phone, table. This practice trains your brain to connect the object directly to the English word, bypassing the translation step entirely. Next, let's move to level 2. Simple phrases. Describe what you are doing as you are doing it, for instance. I'm brushing my teeth, I'm making coffee, I'm opening the window, I'm reading a message. It might feel a bit funny at first, like you're talking to yourself, but trust me, this is one of the most powerful methods for learning to think in English. You are effectively turning your daily life into immersive English practice. Now, let's go one level higher. Level 3, mini conversations. You can imagine small dialogues in your head or even speak them softly to yourself. For example, what time is it? It's 8, guys. Oh, I'm late for work. Don't worry, the bus is coming. You can also use imaginary scenarios. Imagine you're at a cafe ordering a drink. Imagine you are meeting a friend. Imagine you're asking for directions. This step makes your English more alive and dynamic. It becomes a voice inside your head, your English voice. Then there's level 4, English thinking moments. Here is what that means. Whenever you catch yourself thinking something, perhaps you're feeling angry, excited, or worried, try to express that thought in English. For example, I can't believe this traffic. I'm so happy it's Friday. I really need a break. I hope it doesn't rain today. This is incredibly powerful because emotions create strong memory links. When you think in English with genuine emotion, your brain remembers it faster and more deeply. Now, let's go even further. Level 5, internal storytelling. This is where you become the narrator of your own life in English. Imagine that you are the main character in a story and you are describing what is happening. For example, I walked into the kitchen and made a cup of coffee. It smelled amazing. The morning light came through the window and I felt calm. It's like writing a story inside your head, but in English. This not only helps your fluency, but also improves your rhythm, your sentence structure, and your emotional expression. You begin to sound natural, just like a native speaker. But here is the truth. Thinking in English does not happen overnight. It is like training a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So do not worry if you still find yourself translating sometimes. That's okay. What matters is that you notice it and gently guide your thoughts back to English. Over time, translation will become less and less necessary. You will begin to think, what should I eat? Instead of thinking it in your native language first. You will start reacting to situations in English. You might even start dreaming in English. And one day, you will realize something magical. You don't study English anymore. You live it. Let's do a small exercise together right now. Close your eyes if you're able to. Take a deep breath. Now, imagine that you have just woken up on a beautiful Sunday morning. The sun is shining, the air feels soft. Now, describe what happens next in English. Say it out loud or just think it in your mind. I wake up, I stretch, I feel relaxed. I open the window, the air is fresh, I smile. I'm happy today. Can you feel how simple and natural that was? That is you thinking in English. Do this often. Short moments, real feelings, daily thoughts. That is how fluency grows, slowly but surely. Now let's add one more advanced trick, the English filter. This means that for 1 or 2 hours each day, you switch your mind completely over to English. During this time, everything you see, read, or hear, you label or describe it in English. You can even turn it into a game. How long can you stay inside the English zone? If your brain tries to switch back to your native language, gently catch it and bring it back. At first, you might only last for a few minutes, but one day, you will make it through a whole morning. And when that happens, you will smile because you will feel it. Your brain is changing. You are no longer just someone who is learning English. You are becoming someone who thinks in English. Let me share something personal with you. When I teach my students here in the US, I see the same transformative moment happen every time. The moment when they stop translating and start living in the language, their faces change. Their eyes light up. It's as if they have finally found a new kind of freedom. And I want that for you. You can do it. You are already closer than you think. In the next part 8, we are going to go even deeper. We will talk about how to speak naturally like a native by using rhythm, tone, and emotion. That is the secret to sounding confident, fluent, and alive in an English conversation. So make sure you stay with me for the next lesson. Before you go, please tell me in the comments, do you ever catch yourself thinking in English? If so, when does it happen the most? In the morning, at night, or when you're alone? I can't wait to read your answers and cheer you on. Now, take a deep breath, smile, and say it proudly. I am learning to think in English. You are doing great. I'm proud of you. See you in part 8.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Welcome back, my friend. If you've made it here to part 8, you are already doing something that most learners never do. You are not just learning words or grammar. You are learning to sound natural, to speak English with life, with rhythm, and with confidence. Today, I am going to share one of the biggest secrets to achieving fluent English. It is not about knowing more vocabulary or speaking faster. It is about how you say things, your rhythm, your tone, and your emotion. These 3 elements are what make native speakers sound smooth, real, and alive. And once you understand them, you can sound that way too. Let's begin with rhythm. English is a rhythm-based language, much like music. It has a beat. Some words are spoken strongly, some are soft, some are quick, and some are slow. For example, listen to this sentence. I want to go to the beach today. Notice how I stress the words want, go, and beach. They are the important words, the content words. The smaller words like to, the, and the end of today are less stressed. Try it with me now. Repeat slowly. I want to go to the beach today. Can you feel that rhythm? This is what makes your English sound natural and not robotic. When you speak English, think of it like a song. Every sentence has its own little melody. If you can feel that music, you will sound confident and fluent even when using simple words. Now let's talk about tone, or what is often called intonation. Your tone is the rise and fall of your voice. It tells your listeners how you feel and what you truly mean, beyond just the words themselves. Let me show you. If I say, "You're coming," with a falling tone, that sounds like a statement. I am sure that you are coming. But if I say, "You're coming," with a rising tone, it becomes a question. I am not sure, so I am asking. The words are identical, but the meaning is completely different just because of the tone. This is why intonation is so incredibly powerful. It gives your speech emotion, clarity, and a sense of connection. Let's try another example. Say these sentences and notice how the tone changes the feeling. I can't believe it. Surprised tone. I can't believe it. Sad tone. I can't believe it. Excited tone. It's the same sentence, but it expresses three completely different emotions. That is what native speakers do naturally. They don't just speak words, they express feelings, and you can do it too. You don't need perfect grammar, you just need to have life in your voice. Now, let's combine rhythm and tone together. Listen. I can't believe it. That's amazing. Can you hear how that flows almost like singing? That is natural English rhythm and emotion working together. Try repeating it a few times, even exaggerating it a little. It might feel dramatic, but that's okay. Practice this, and your English will start to sound warm, alive, and confident. Now let's discuss emotion, the heart of fluent speaking. Here is the truth. When you speak with emotion, people listen. Even if you make small mistakes, they often don't care because emotion is what connects people. Think about your favorite English speakers, perhaps actors, YouTubers, or teachers. What makes them so special? It is not just their words, it is the feeling behind those words. When you speak English, don't be afraid to feel. If you are happy, sound happy. If you are surprised, show your surprise. If you are tired, let your voice relax. Emotion is what makes your English real. Let's do a quick exercise. I will say a few short lines. I want you to repeat them after me, but don't just repeat the words. Say them with feeling. Ready? I did it. Say it with excitement, like you've achieved something. Oh no. Say it with disappointment or sadness. Really? Say it with surprise. That's amazing. Say it with joy. I'm so tired. Say it with a soft, slow tone. Beautiful. That is the beginning of expressive English. Here is a secret tip that I give to my students in the US. Record yourself. Yes, record your own voice on your phone. Say a few sentences and then listen back to the recording. Ask yourself, do I sound flat or do I sound alive? Do I stress the right words? Does my voice rise and fall naturally? You will be surprised by how much this helps. You will start to really hear your own rhythm, your tone, and your emotion. And once you can hear it, you can begin to fix it. This is what advanced learners, C1 and C2 level speakers, do all the time. They train their ear and their voice together. Now let's go a little deeper into rhythm again. English has a natural stress-timed rhythm. That means the stressed words come at regular intervals, like beats in a song, and the other words fit in between them. Let's take this sentence. I'll meet you after lunch. Say it slowly. Now say it again naturally. Notice how meet and lunch get the main stress. The words I'll, you, and after are spoken faster and more lightly. This is the secret rhythm of English, and it is what makes native speakers sound so smooth. Here is a fun exercise to help you feel this rhythm. Clap or tap. When you speak a sentence, clap on the strong words. For example, for the sentence, I want to see that movie. You would clap on want, see, and movie. This physical movement helps your brain remember the beat. It's like dancing with the English language. And when you start to hear and feel that rhythm, Your speaking speed will naturally become smoother without any extra effort. Let me tell you something encouraging. Many learners believe they need a perfect accent to sound fluent. That is simply not true. You do not need to sound American or British. You just need to sound clear, natural, and alive. Your accent is a part of your identity. It shows where you come from, and that is a beautiful thing. Fluency is not about changing who you are. It is about expressing yourself confidently in another language. So today's big takeaway is this. Fluency aras rhythm, sis, tone, plus emotion. If you speak English like music, people will understand you. If you speak with emotion, they will feel you. And once that happens, you will no longer sound like a learner. You will sound like a communicator. In the next part 9, we will focus on real life speaking situations. You will learn how to respond naturally in everyday conversations, from small talk to deep discussions, using everything you have learned so far. You will discover how to maintain the flow of a conversation, even when you don't have the perfect words. Before you go, please tell me in the comments, which part do you find more difficult? Rhythm, tone, or emotion? I would love to hear from you. You are doing amazing. Keep practicing, keep feeling. And remember, English is not just a language, it's a rhythm, a voice, and a feeling inside you. See you in part 9, my friend.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Welcome back, my friend. You have made it to part 9 of our From B1 to C2 English Fluency Masterclass. Now that you have a solid understanding of rhythm, tone, and emotion, it is time to bring everything together in the context of real life conversations. Because learning English words is one thing, but using them naturally, confidently, and without fear is another level entirely. And that is what we are going to master today. So, take a deep breath and relax your shoulders. You are about to learn how to flow in English conversations, just like a native speaker. Let's begin with something incredibly important. Don't chase perfection. Most learners think, I can't speak until my grammar's perfect. But that simply isn't true. Native speakers make mistakes too, every single day. The difference is they keep talking. They don't pause to overthink grammar rules. So when you speak English, don't try to be perfect. Try to be real. Focus on connection, not on perfection. Let's imagine a real life situation. You meet someone new and they say, Hey, how are you? You could give the basic answer, I'm fine, thank you. But that sounds a little robotic, doesn't it? Instead, try something more natural. I'm good, thanks. It's been a busy day, but I'm happy. Or, I'm doing pretty well. How about you? Do you see the difference? You are not just answering the question, you are opening a conversation. That is what fluent speakers do. They don't stop at short, simple answers. They keep the flow going. Let's practice this together. I am going to ask a few common questions. I want you to answer them out loud, using full, natural sentences. Question 1. What do you do on weekends? Pause to let the learner respond. Perhaps you said something like, I like to hang out with friends and watch movies. Perfect. Question 2. Do you enjoy learning English? Pause. You could say, Yes, I do. It's sometimes hard, but I love improving every day. That's wonderful. Clear, natural, and alive. Now let's talk about conversation rhythm. In English, conversations are like a dance. When one person talks, the other listens and then responds smoothly. You take turns, like in music. But many learners struggle because they pause for too long or repeat words while they are thinking. Here is a helpful tip. Use filler phrases. These are short, natural expressions that give you time to think. For example, well, you know, let me think. That's a good question. These phrases are small, but they are powerful. They make your English sound smooth and natural, even while your brain is searching for the next word. Let's try this together. If someone asks you, "What's your favorite book?" Instead of staying silent, you can say, "Well, that's a good question. I think my favorite is Harry Potter because it's full of imagination." See, you used a filler phrase. Well, that's a good question. And you sounded fluent and confident. Now let's look at reaction phrases. When someone tells you something, don't just nod or say, "Okay." Show emotion. Respond in a natural way. Here are some examples. If someone shares good news, "That's awesome." "Wow, congratulations." "I'm so happy for you." If someone shares bad news, "Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that." "That sounds tough. Are you okay?" If you're surprised, "Really? No way. You're kidding." These little responses demonstrate that you are engaged in the conversation, and they make your English sound more real and emotional. Now, let's talk about listening. Fluent speakers are also great listeners. They don't just wait for their turn to speak. They listen carefully and respond to what the other person has actually said. If someone says, "I went hiking last weekend," you can follow up with a question like, "Really, where did you go?" Or if they say, "I've been so busy lately," like you can respond with, "Yeah, I know the feeling. Work has been crazy for me too." That is how a natural conversation works. It is not about speaking fast, it is about listening, responding, and connecting. Let's practice a mini dialogue together. I will say my lines, and you can imagine your answers. Me. "Hey, how was your weekend?" You respond aloud. Me. "Oh, nice. Did you go out with friends?" You answer again. Me. "Sounds fun. I just stayed home and watched movies." You react. Maybe you say, "That sounds relaxing," or "Which movie did you watch?" Beautiful. That is how real English sounds: natural, flowing, and friendly. Now, here's a big tip. Don't try to memorize conversations word for word. Instead, memorize patterns. For example, "I'm really into," plus hobby. "I'm thinking about," plus plan. "I've been," plus activity. These are flexible patterns that you can use in any situation. Example, "I'm really into cooking these days." "I'm thinking about learning Spanish." "I've been watching a lot of documentaries lately." Do you see how natural that sounds? You're not translating from your native language. You are speaking in English patterns. That is how fluent speakers think. Here's another secret. Shadow real conversations. Find a short English dialogue online, perhaps from a movie clip or a podcast. Listen to it and then repeat exactly how they speak. Not just the words, but also the tone and the rhythm. Say it again and again until your voice matches theirs. This technique, called shadowing, is one of the fastest ways to sound more fluent. It is how interpreters, language teachers, and even actors train their English. Now, let's talk about confidence. Many learners tell me, "Teacher, I understand English, but I can't speak." Do you ever feel that way too? That is completely normal. It is not because you are bad at English, it is because your mouth has not had enough practice. Speaking is a physical act. Your tongue, your lips, your jaw, they all need training. So you must speak out loud every single day, even when you are alone. Practice saying sentences like, "I'm getting better at English every day." "I can express my ideas clearly." "I'm becoming fluent, step by step." Say them with confidence because when you speak with belief, your brain starts to believe it too. Remember this: fluency does not come from studying more grammar books. It comes from using English, speaking it, listening to it, feeling it, living it. Every time you shadow, every time you respond to a question, every time you speak, even when you are afraid, you are moving from B1 to C2. In the next part 10, we are going to go even deeper. You will learn how to handle difficult speaking situations, such as job interviews, discussions, or moments when your mind goes blank. I will show you how to stay calm, sound natural, and keep the conversation alive. You are doing so well. Take a moment to be proud of how far you have come. Now, tell me in the comments, what situation is the hardest for you? Small talk, presentations, or interviews? I will read your answers and help you in the next lesson. See you in part 10, where we will turn pressure into power.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Welcome back, my friend. You have reached part 10 of our From B1 to C2 English Fluency Masterclass. You have already learned how to listen, respond, and flow within a conversation. But now, it's time for one of the most powerful skills every English learner needs: the ability to remain calm and speak naturally, even in challenging situations. Let's be honest, we have all been there. You are in a meeting or a job interview, or maybe just talking to a native speaker, and suddenly your mind goes completely blank. You know the words, you know the grammar, but your mouth just will not move. Your heart starts beating faster. You freeze. That does not happen because you are bad at English. It happens because your brain is nervous. It is a natural protective response. So today I am going to teach you how to calm your mind, relax your body, and speak with confidence in any situation, even when you are under pressure. Let's start with this fundamental principle. Fluency begins with calmness. When you feel nervous, your brain struggles to find the right words, but when you are calm, the words come to you much more naturally. So here's a little secret from professional speakers and teachers like myself. Before you speak, take one deep breath. Just one. Let's try it right now. Breathe in slowly through your nose. Hold it for 2 seconds. Now exhale slowly through your mouth. Do you feel that? Your body just relaxed. That simple act of breathing helps your brain to focus, and it makes your voice sound much steadier. Now you are ready to speak. Let's imagine a real-life situation. You are in a job interview and the interviewer asks, "So, can you tell me about yourself?" In that moment, you might feel a wave of panic, but don't. You do not need a perfect answer. You just need a clear and confident one. Here is a simple pattern you can use. Start with who you are, mention what you do, and end with your goal or passion. For example, my name is Lynn, I'm from Vietnam, and I work as a software tester. I really enjoy learning new things, especially languages, because they help me connect with people from all around the world. Simple, natural, and clear. You did not use any complex vocabulary, but you sounded fluent and self-assured. Now, let's say the interviewer asks you something that you do not understand. What do you do? Here is the trick. Don't freeze. Rephrase. You can say something like, "I'm sorry, could you please repeat that?" Or, "Could you say that another way?" Or, "Let me make sure I understand. Do you mean?" These phrases buy you time and demonstrate your confidence. Native speakers use them all the time. Remember, asking for clarification does not make you look weak. It makes you look professional and engaged. Now let's imagine another scenario. You are giving a presentation in English. You have practiced your speech many times, but when you begin, you suddenly forget a word. What should you do? Do not stop. Do not apologize. Just keep going. Use a simpler word or describe what you mean. For example, if you forget the word efficient, you can say, it works very well. If you forget the word motivate, you can say, it helps people want to do more. Fluent speakers do this too. They rephrase their thoughts naturally. That is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of effective communication. Now let's talk about your body language. When you speak English, especially in professional settings like interviews or meetings, your body speaks before your words do. So stand or sit tall. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Smile if it feels natural for you. And use open hand gestures. Not too many, just enough to show warmth and engagement. If your body is relaxed, your mind will follow and your voice will sound calmer, smoother, and more confident. Here is another common problem that learners face. You are in the middle of a conversation, but you forget a word mid-sentence. Let's say you want to say, I forgot to bring my umbrella, but you cannot remember the word umbrella. Do not stop. You can say, I forgot to bring my, you know, the thing for the rain. And guess what? The listener will understand and will likely help you. This is a very natural occurrence. Even native speakers forget words all the time. The secret is to keep talking. Do not break the flow of the conversation. Now, let's talk about thinking time. When you need a moment to think, do not just remain silent. Use natural pauses or filler words to stay in control of the conversation. Here are some examples. Well, let me think. That's an interesting question. I haven't thought about that before. These phrases sound confident and they give your brain a few extra seconds to organize your thoughts. Let's do a little practice. Imagine you are asked, what motivates you to learn English? You could respond by saying, well, let me think. I guess it's because English gives me more chances to grow. I can talk to people from other countries, understand movies, and even work abroad someday. Beautiful. That was natural and fluent. You did not rush. You spoke with confidence and calm energy. Now, let's talk about how to handle mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. What matters is how you respond to them. If you make a mistake, do not stop and say, sorry, my English is bad. Simply correct yourself naturally and move on. For example, I went there last week. That's it. You fixed it quickly and maintained the flow. No apology was necessary. Confidence means accepting your mistakes and continuing to communicate. Let me tell you something from my own experience. When I first started teaching English in the US, I also made mistakes. Not with grammar, but with culture and tone. I sometimes spoke too quickly or did not pause enough. But over time, I learned to slow down, to breathe, and to connect with people. That is what fluency really is, connection, not perfection. Let's do one last confidence building exercise before we move on. Please repeat after me slowly and clearly. I am calm when I speak English. I can express my ideas clearly. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to connect. I am becoming more fluent every day. Excellent. These sentences represent your new mindset because confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build, one word at a time. In the next and final part 11, we will bring everything we have learned together. You will learn how to create your own personal English fluency plan, a simple daily routine that will help you to keep improving even after this masterclass is finished. It will be your roadmap from B1 to C2, step by step, day by day. Before we go, please tell me in the comments, when do you feel the most nervous speaking English? At work, in class, or with native speakers? I will read your answers and offer some help in the next part. You have done an amazing job today. Take a deep breath, smile, and remember, every time you speak, you are one step closer to true English fluency. See you in part 11, my friend.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
You have made it. We are now at the final part of our From B1 to C2 English Fluency Masterclass. Take a deep breath and acknowledge how far you have come. You have built your confidence. You have learned how to listen effectively, how to think in English, and how to express yourself with clarity. Now let's talk about what it truly means to reach a state of fluency and how you can maintain it for the rest of your life. Fluency is not about perfection. Fluency means freedom. It is the freedom to express your ideas without fear. It is the freedom to connect with anyone, anywhere in the world. And it is the freedom to be yourself in another language. Many learners stop their journey at the B2 or C1 level because they feel they are good enough. But you are not here just to be good enough. You are here to master the English language. And mastery is not about knowing every single word. It is about using what you do know naturally, confidently, and with your own unique voice. So, in this final part, we will do 3 things together. First, we will reflect on your journey from B1 to where you are now. Second, we will learn the essential habits that will keep you improving forever. And third, we will finish with a deep speaking and listening exercise to solidify everything you've learned. Let's start with reflection. Think back to when you first started learning English. Perhaps you felt nervous every time you tried to speak. Maybe you frequently forgot words in the middle of conversations. Maybe you constantly felt like your English was not good enough. Now look at yourself. You can listen to long, natural sentences. You can shadow a speaker and speak with rhythm. You understand underlying meanings, not just individual words. That is a huge achievement. So right now, I want you to take a moment and say this with me. I am proud of myself. I am growing every day. Say it again, louder this time, with confidence. I am proud of myself. I am growing every day. That is the mindset of a fluent speaker. You are not just learning English anymore, you are living it. Now, let's talk about the habits that will keep your English alive and thriving. Habit 1, daily English input. Even after this masterclass is over, you need to have English in your ears every single day. It can be a podcast, a YouTube video, a short story, or a conversation with a friend. Make the sound of English like music in your life. Listen even if you do not understand every single thing. Your brain is always learning. Habit 2, speak out loud every day. Shadowing is an incredibly powerful tool. Continue to do it daily, even for just 5 minutes. Repeat after teachers, after podcast hosts, after the characters in your favorite shows. Record your own voice and listen back to it. Improve your pronunciation, your emotion, and your flow. Habit 3, use English for real life. Write messages in English. Leave comments in English. Think in English. Ask yourself questions in English like, what should I eat today? Or, how was my day? The more you live in English, the faster you will grow. Habit 4, learn with emotion. Never learn English like a robot. Learn it like a human being. Laugh when something is funny. Feel sad when something is emotional. When you feel something, you remember it for much longer. This is how native speakers learn as children, through emotion, not through memorization. Habit 5, surround yourself with English success. Follow channels that inspire you. Watch people who speak naturally. And yes, keep coming back to the Confident Speaking podcast because this channel is created to help you continue your journey with joy, motivation, and confidence. Now, let's finish with one last deep practice. I am going to say a short passage. I want you to listen carefully and then shadow me, line by line. Ready? Listen first. Fluency is not about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about being brave enough to speak, even when you make mistakes. Because every time you speak, you grow stronger. Every time you listen, you understand more. Every time you practice, you become closer to the person you want to be. Now, shadow with me slowly. Fluency is not about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about being brave enough to speak, even when you make mistakes. Because every time you speak, you grow stronger. Every time you listen, you understand more. Every time you practice, you become closer to the person you want to be. Good. Now, let's shadow it again, this time a little faster and with emotion. Feel the words. Fluency is not about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about being brave enough to speak, even when you make mistakes. Because every time you speak, you grow stronger. Every time you listen, you understand more. Every time you practice, you become closer to the person you want to be. Beautiful. That is your new English identity: confident, natural, and expressive. Before we finish, I want you to remember this: language learning never truly ends. But that is the beauty of it. You can always get better. You can always learn something new. And with every word you speak, you open new doors in your life. So keep going, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself because I believe in you. If this masterclass has helped you to grow, please like this video and share it with someone else who wants to improve their English too. Leave a comment and tell me, what is the one thing you learned that changed your English the most? I read every single comment and I love hearing your stories. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey from B1 to C2 fluency. This is the Confident Speaking Podcast, your teacher, your guide, and your friend on this path to English mastery. Keep shining, keep learning, and remember, your English story has just begun. I will see you in the next lesson.